what is the issue with the $180 Air Max 270. If you're a regular of the channel, you already know I got a thing for all white minimalist leather sneakers. I think hands down they're the most versatile shoe a guy could own. So when I made the commitment to get in shape this year, I went out looking for a trainer / running shoe with a similar aesthetic, and I ended up getting the Nike Air Max 270. And I've had my eye on these shoes for a couple of years now, but I really didn't want to spend $180 on a shoe I was going to wear periodically. Because normally I don't wear an athletic shoe like this unless it's to the gym or run a few errands. But these things look so nice, and since they haven't came down in price all that much over the years, I finally picked them up, and after wearing them a couple of days and getting a ton of looks and a few compliments, it reinforced my decision to pick them up, and I was happy with my purchase. But not everything is all good with these shoes, and after wearing them consecutively for a couple of weeks, I started to notice a few things about these shoes that I didn't like. So I ended up jumping online and reading a ton of reviews, which I should have done before I bought these shoes, but it seems that there's a whole lot of people having the same issues with these shoes that I'm having. So hopefully you guys are catching this video before you go out and spend $180 on a shoe that looks great, but doesn't perform all that great. So let's get into what is the issue with the $180 Air Max 270. All right, first off, I'm gonna get into how hard these shoes are to put on. And I own other unibody running shoes from a few different brands, and none of them are this hard to put on. I think this has to do with two factors. One, the shoe opening is relatively small, so if you have medium to wide feet, you're definitely gonna have an issue putting these on. I myself have relatively narrow feet, and I still have trouble putting these on. And the second factor is the shoe counter. The shoe counter is a separate piece sewn into the shoe, so essentially when you're trying to slide in your foot, the heel counter folds down, and you end up having to stick your finger inside your shoe to pull that heel counter out. And this isn't a size issue. I tried these shoes on in 3 different sizes, and I had the same problem with all 3. So if you or somebody you're buying these shoes for has mobility issues, I would definitely think twice about buying these shoes just on that factor alone. But once you manage to get these shoes on, they're nice and snug. And that leads me to another issue people are having with these shoes. These shoes are snug, but they're not uniformly snug across the whole shoe, with the middle being substantially tighter than the toe box and the heel, with the toe box and the heel having a little more wiggle room than the rest of the shoe. And this could potentially lead to 2 things happening. 1, you might start to experience foot fatigue because of how tight they are in the middle of the shoe. And 2, you'll start to feel your heel slip side to side once you start doing any rigorous exercise. I myself experienced both of these things while exercising in these shoes. Now on to the Air Max technology. And in my opinion, the Air Max bubble is about 90% of what makes these shoes look so great. But the issue people are having with the Air Max bubble is the Air Max bubble is so prominent that when you're wearing these shoes, your heel is hiked up just a little bit more than the rest of your foot. And with no real arch support and very little cushioning from the middle of the shoe to the front, this causes your foot to slide forward and your toes to rub up against the front of the shoe. And if you're doing any extensive walking or any running in these shoes, you're definitely gonna have some sore toes at the end of the day. And on the topic of these shoes and exercise, here's where I'm partially to blame. If I would have done a little research before spending $180 on these shoes for exercise, I would have known that these are neither trainers or running shoes. As a matter of fact, Nike classifies these shoes as lifestyle shoes. And if you know anything about lifestyle shoes, most of the time they're big on looks and short on comfort. And to be fair to myself, I think most people that look at these shoes think they're athletic shoes, and for $180, I think most people would expect them to perform like athletic shoes. Yeah, I know, my critique of these shoes was pretty harsh, but like I said, for $180, I think you guys should expect more for your money. And I still think these are a great looking pair of shoes, and I'll still continue to wear them. I'm just not gonna wear them anywhere where I'm gonna do any extensive walking, and I'm definitely not using them for running. So if you have any further questions or comments, or you own a pair of these shoes, let me know what you think about them in the comments down below. But before you go, hit that subscribe button and give this video a like. See you guys soon.